the radical. Fundamental principles of freedom, rational self-interest, and individual rights. This is the Yaron Brook Show.
All right, everybody, welcome to Yaron Brook Show on this, what is it? Thursday. No, it's not Thursday. My computer deceives me. Here in Sydney, Australia, it is Friday morning. I know where you are, most of you, I think, listening. It is indeed Thursday, so excuse the confusion. My computer is on Puerto Rican time, so it's telling me Thursday, but it is indeed Friday morning here in Sydney. It's this whole thing about crossing multiple time zones is ultimately very confusing. So anyway, thank you all. I'm in the future. That's right, Jennifer. I am from the future, broadcasting you from tomorrow. I hope everybody's doing well and had a good week. I arrived here in Sydney. When did I arrive? Yesterday. My Thursday, your Wednesday, something like that. Anyway, I fly in a little while. Really in a little while to Brisbane, not Brisbane. I figured it out. Everybody told me, and I've learned my lesson. So Brisbane, and where we have a conference going on Saturday and Sunday, starting tonight, but mostly Saturday and Sunday with me and Nikos. If you're in Australia and you still haven't signed up for the conference, you still can. You can come to Brisbane, and I think we're going to have a good time there and join us. So please consider doing that. Okay, let's see. What else do we want to do? I'll be back in Sydney next week. I'm doing a couple of talks here on Monday and on Tuesday, and then I'm off to Tokyo, where I'll be doing a couple of talks on Thursday. So I think I've got that right. Those are my time zones, not your time zones, so whatever. Anyway, if you're in Tokyo, join us. If you're in Sydney, join us on Monday, Tuesday. If you're Brisbane, I'll see you at the conference. And I know some people are flying in from India and Philippines and a bunch of in China. Got a couple of people coming from China to the conference in Brisbane. So I'm looking forward to meeting all of you there if you're listening. Okay, today's show is going to be short. It's going to be shorter than usual, even because I've got a flight to catch to Brisbane, but I wanted to try to do a show anyway. Again, here it's morning, it's your evening, very confusing. By the time it's my evening, it's your, I don't know, middle of the night or early morning. So this is the best time for me to do a show. But it also means I don't have a lot of time. So anyway, we'll do this quickly. I was going to talk about Unit X and the future of war, but there's a lot happening on the news front, so I'm going to skip that. That'll be a kind of perennial issue. It definitely is related on the news front to some of Trump's nominations for Secretary of Defense, Navy, Army, and so on. I want to talk about that. It's important, but we'll leave that for now. We've got plenty of time to talk about it. And let's see. Yes, I know there was an earthquake off the coast of Northern California, north of San Francisco, quite a bit north, around closer to the Oregon border. And there was a tsunami warning, although the tsunami warning, I hear, has been canceled. So hopefully everybody stays safe, and hopefully there wasn't a lot of damage from the earthquake. All right, let's see. What do we want to talk about? So there are a few things kind of that are a big deal. One is, I think, basically the assassination, what looks like a professional assassination of the CEO of United Healthcare. This is quite a dramatic event. It's quite a dramatic event. One, because whoever did it looks like a pro. It really does look like a professional hit. Whoever murdered him did so between 53rd and 54th Avenue on 6th Avenue, right at the Hilton there. I've been at that Hilton dozens of times. It's right in the middle of Manhattan. It was 6:30 in the morning, but it's quite a busy area even at 6:30 in the morning. There's a lot of people going to work. The Hilton itself is busy. There was a conference being scheduled there that the CEO was going to be speaking at. And, he was approached, shot 3 times, I guess, pretty much close up. When you shoot somebody, I mean, to stay calm during all of that and to manage to escape from there, it really does. It sounds like something you see in the movies where a professional hitman does it. It really is shocking. It's shocking to see something like that happen in the middle of Manhattan. It's shocking to see a CEO of an American business targeted. It's hard to tell what the motivation is, but it's likely the motivation, we don't know yet what the motivation is for sure, but it's likely the motivation is a hatred of health insurance, this health insurance company, United Healthcare, which is the largest health insurance company in the United States. It is probably motivated by some unpaid claim or something that the insurance company did that has significantly upset somebody who, my guess is, hired a hitman to do this, because I don't think the person themselves, again, this looked like a professional job. Now, it could be that this is somebody who's feels an injustice was done towards them. But it takes a lot to commit an assassination like this. So more likely they hired somebody. But again, it's going to be interesting to see the consequence of this. One of the most upsetting parts of this is the kind of commentary on social media, which has used this event as an excuse to come out and attack. An attack on healthcare, on health insurance, and an opportunity for many people to use this as a attempt to advocate for socialized medicine. The bullets, there was a message written on the bullets, so this was personal, but again, it's hard to tell if the assassin themselves was personally involved or whether he was hired and the bullets pre-prepared. I just don't know. Again, the calm in which this was done, the calm with which this was done, suggests that either the person who felt like who hated the CEO either had military training or something like that, or hired a professional. But we'll see. It looks like the police now have a face to go with the suspect. They have a fake ID, but they have a face, and there's some likelihood that they will be able to find somebody soon. But it's pretty scary how many people came out of the woodwork as anti health insurance, anti capitalist, anti-freedom in healthcare, and are using this as an opportunity to advocate for socialization of healthcare. Now, I've talked a lot about the evils of socialized healthcare. I just put up a video with my 10-minute talk about privatizing the NHS. You can check that out. Socializing healthcare would be an unmitigated disaster for almost all of us. That's not to say that the current system is a good system. It is not. But the blame is not with health insurance companies. The blame is with a regulatory regime that does not allow for real competition among health insurance companies, not just among health insurance companies, but also among health insurance products. So the real challenge is the regulatory regime in which we live, the amount of regulation, the type of regulation, the extent of the regulation. If we really want a better health insurance, if we really want better healthcare, the solution is deregulation. The solution is real, proper privatization. And we live in a scary world. We live in a world where the profit motive in the private sector and capitalism in the United States, of all places, are hated, are despised, left and right. It doesn't matter. We live in a world in which collectivism is elevated above individualism. Central planning and statism are elevated above capitalism. I mean, one indication of that is Donald Trump's announcement about which he shares with Biden, the Biden administration, which is not to let Nippon Steel buy U.S. steel, which has no national security implications, has no relevance to the government, and yet both the Biden administration and the Trump administration both want to stop this merger that by every standard should go through, and it is actually an incredibly healthy merger. But in the name of some form of bizarre economic nationalism, U.S. Steel should not be owned by a Japanese company. No, it's called U.S. Steel after all, so it has to be owned by U.S. people. We're just seeing the disappearance of really any voice advocating for real economic liberty and economic freedom. And I think the ultimate consequence of this is going to be more hatred, more resentment towards CEOs, towards the profit motive. And in healthcare, of course, it's very personal. If somebody got denied insurance and some family member passed away or died, it can be incredibly tragic for somebody, and then it's relatively easy to take that out again on the participants in the marketplace and on the